But to celebrate National Lingerie Day,
I wear lingerie until I can't wear it no more.
Yeah, they can celebrate in a way that they never have before.
There you go. Come with everything.
It ain't supposed to fit, Gina.
Men can lactate, like yes.
What?
But it's like a big positive sex positive family reunion for individuals and folks in relationships in order to improve their sex lives, particularly focusing on seduction, communication, and enhancing people's sex skills. We see boobs all the time. There's a nerve that connects from our breast down to our genitals.
How about that?
Yes, I love it.
All right.
Great idea. I'm keeping that for next time.
There you go. Let's talk about breasts.
Let's talk about you and me.
Let's talk about all the good things
and all the bad things.
Hello and welcome to BoobTube. This is episode 44 and we are happy that you joined us. I am Chantel.
I'm your best friend, Jaleesa.
And we have a great episode lined up for you tonight. As you can tell, I guess you can't leave anything to the imagination about what we're going to talk about today. But to celebrate National Lingerie Day, we're going to have a conversation about lingerie. And we have great guests lined up for this conversation to add their expertise and information to help us all celebrate National Lingerie Day the right way.
Yep.
But before we get to that, let's take it to the streets. What is your preferred color of lingerie?
Rose gold.
Rose gold. Okay, Miss Rose Gold.
I know.
So rose gold.
I actually carry a set that is considered rose gold,
Really?
the color.
I hadn't thought about that for a good lingerie. So my mind always goes to red or black, the traditional ones. But I like that though.
Yeah, it's a cute color.
Yeah.
I always like it on my clients, and it kind of feel like it pops on all the skin hues.
That makes sense. I can see that.
Yeah.
So that's a good one.
Yeah. So as you can see here, we have on our lingerie as we are celebrating National Lingerie, which is coming up in just a couple of days. So we hope that you all celebrate too. And, wear some lingerie. Do it for yourself.
Do it for yourself.
Or someone else if you want. But
Yourself
at
first.
least do it for yourself.
It's interesting how lingerie, there's a day for everything, first of all.
True.
So,
Nowadays, for sure.
But National Lingerie Day, not even old. Came out about 2014, so not even.
10
so
years.
about 10 years now. My mind got stuck to 2023 for whatever
Yay!
reason.
We're here to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of National Lingerie Day.
Hey!
BoobTube brought it to you first in 2024.
Because did you even know about it?
Right.
But it was a way for retailers to promote lingerie, of course. So.
Okay. That was smart on their part.
Yeah.
So most people, I don't know, when I think of lingerie, like there's such a wide range. So yes, there's bras and the bras and panties, but then there's like teddies or nighties, like people say, baby dolls. But then it can get a little more kinky. They have kind of like more dominatrix style stuff, and yeah, they're getting creative with it.
They are. Comes in different fabrics. You got your leather. You got your spandex.
Lace.
I'm like, has cotton? I don't know how to.
No.
I don't think that.
Unless it's just kind of like that sexy loungewear. Like your butt cheeks are hanging out.
I guess. But I think that's still more of like the.
Like spandex or something. Yeah. I personally don't know if cotton lingerie.
I don't either.
But
I hope no one's wearing lingerie.
I'm really trying to think about it. It's a little warm. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we guess we'll see. Or not, hopefully.
Let's not.
Yeah. Do you have a go-to style of lingerie?
No.
Yeah, me either. Just whatever.
Yeah. I have quite a few of these numbers. I have a few two pieces that I like. Just kind of more of like a lacy, and I like they're kind of like the high cut shorts. So, I mean, like you said, it's a different range and style of different ones. So if you don't like nothing in your butt, you can have that option.
nothing in your butt.
So there are options to choose from.
That
Something
is
for you to
true.
be comfortable in. But lingerie isn't, like you said, no, you're supposed to be comfortable. Ain't supposed to fit.
Or is it? It ain't supposed to fit, Gina. I don't know. I think I just like whatever catches my eye, really.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think I ever look at it for me. There was a time where like some new lingerie was coming out that I was considering for uplifting, and I was at the gym, so I showed it is not the big gym, like someone owns the gym that I know, so it wasn't like I was at LA Fitness just like, hey guys, no,
The gym is a gym though.
Yeah, but it's like it was like more family oriented, like. So I showed them like, oh, what do you think about like these? And a lot of them, they were just like, it doesn't do anything for me. And I was like, really? You don't even like
it to men?
Yeah, just to see what they say. They're like, like it wasn't really doing anything for them, but it was cute lingerie. And then they're like, I mean, it's cute, like, I still, but it's just not anything like that. Like, but then I showed something that was a little more risque, I think, and then they're like, oh yeah, like that's the one that, and I laughed so hard because he was like, he like pulled on the counter. He's like, "That's the one." I was like, talking about where you going? Where you going? And I was laughing so hard, like on the floor. I'm like, so this is the one, which is just like more. I think it might have been something leather. I feel like it was black, but it was something that was definitely like less coverage.
Yeah.
Talking about where you going?
Just a piece of string, just a whole piece of string.
Yeah, man.
So that's your test.
Mm-hmm. Because I was like, what do y'all think about this one? I was like, I thought it was cute. They're just like, it's not really doing anything for me. And then they also like butts more too. So they like things where the butt was like, hanging out. But I mean, they also said like they would still be attracted to her in it, but not like that's not the one that's gonna just get them like,
yeah. Where you going with that?
Yeah, where you going? Where you going?
Follow you out
yeah, he like
chase you down the street.
He held the counter like he had her trapped. Where you going? Where you going? I was like, oh my god, so stupid.
So see what lingerie could do.
Yeah, you can get you trapped. He can get you trapped. All right, so be careful out there in these streets. We want you to celebrate, but be safe. Okay, it could be dangerous.
This is my first time hearing of National Lingerie Day, so
really,
yeah.
Well, welcome. I mean, I don't know when my first time was, but I'm pretty sure it was like post uplifting.
Okay.
Maybe pre, but for sure post. Yeah. Well, glad you're able to celebrate it here on the tube.
Coming up, we have a very special guest to add to the conversation for National Lingerie Day. Let's see what they have to say.
National Lingerie Day is this week. So we have our amazing guest here who is a sexologist, sexual strategist, author, and creator of an inclusive sex conference, SDS Conference. Welcome, Marla.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Of course. Thank you for joining us on BoobTube. We are happy to have you here. All right. So how did you get into creating the SDS conference, and like what kind of sexual education do you provide?
So when Tia and I created Sex Down South, we really wanted an inclusive conference because, we were going to sex conferences. None of them really had, most of them were very white, most of them were very academic. And we really wanted to create something where people could get some advice on actually how to do things, to learn a little bit more around sex and sexuality and all the different facets of that. And so when we had been, throwing parties and things together for a couple of years before we decided to do this conference. And yeah, we had our first conference in October of 2015. So we are now in our 10th year of our conference. It's our 10-year anniversary. So we're super excited about that. Hey. Yes. And as far as the conference, we basically are like, come with everything, right? So we have everything from, how to have oral or manual techniques to reproductive justice to, spirituality, kink, non-monogamy, LGBTQIA plus, we just have like things for everybody. We particularly focus again on Black and Brown folks, BIPOC folks, queer, trans, non-binary folks, disabled folks, sex workers, survivors. Those are like I prioritize populations.
Mm-hmm.
And we really just encourage people to come out and network with each other. And it's like a big positive sex positive family reunion. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so it makes it really, really fun and to connect with people, whether you are on the academic side or whether you are just like, we call them enthusiasts who just wants to learn more about, my sex life. So that is kind of what SDS does. And as far as my own individual company, Velvet Lips, that is my company where I provide workshops, coaching for individuals and folks in relationships in order to improve their sex lives, particularly focusing on seduction, communication, and enhancing people's sex skills.
Wow.
There's a lot going on there, and very inclusive community. It sounds like there will be something for everyone. So it sounds like a great experience. So I'd imagine that there are some interesting things that take place at the conference and maybe even in your workshop that you provide through your own business. What are some of the most memorable ways that you've seen breast specifically incorporated during your conferences or workshops?
Yeah, so, breasts and boobs are a big part of SDS. We always have something going on pertaining to boobs. We had one really great workshop around lactation, like how to get your body to lactate. I went in that and I had no idea. I was like, men can lactate, like yes.
What?
But
what are they lactating?
Yeah, so it was just the same material, breast milk. Yeah, same. We're made up of the same thing. So there's it's very, fascinating. But yeah, it's if need be, they can. So how to induce lactation. So that was one of the workshops that we had. We see boobs all the time because you're allowed to be naked at our conference, so boobs are always hanging out, chests are always hanging out, and we encourage people to be themselves and let it all hang out. We've definitely seen we had a naked parade for the past couple of years. And that's really exciting and fun to see. So, of course, you imagine all the different types of boobs and chests that come across, the hallways of the conference center. But yeah, we've had, I would say probably one of the lactation workshops is probably one of the most fascinating thing I feel, I guess, when it comes to boobs particularly. And of course, the performances. We always have really great entertainers, burlesque performers. So, we've had performers who let it all hang out. No need for pasties here. So, boobs are always a big part of SDS and of how we move in general.
Wow. I'm gonna need to research the male lactation and how that works. That's very interesting. But okay, so not to stray away too far, but of course that was like really interesting. So was it sexual in like how it was done, or so it was like
I would say it was like sort of multiple parts. So, as far as lactation, right, it was for people who wanted to breastfeed, people who wanted to, maybe get more out of their breast milk sessions, maybe with their child, or with whomever, whatever baby that they're nursing. But it also pertained to like if you have a lactation, a kink, so if you wanted someone to start lactating, or maybe you have a hue cow, a human cow, kink, and you wanted to lactate, it was a great way to sort of um, understand your body and get your body to lactate if that's something you're interested in. So yeah, I would say it's for both. It's for anybody who wants to lactate, and whether you want to use that for a baby or for a grown adult, that's up to you. But it's it's a really great learning experience.
I can imagine. Very interesting for sure. Okay. That was eye-opening. So when it comes to lingerie, what do you think about getting your money's worth by wearing lingerie for the same partner more than once?
Getting your money's worth. That is such a subjective way of saying things.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes lingerie, depending on where you get it from, if you're getting, the $3 to $5 pieces at Shein versus the Fenty at, 30, 40, $50 and beyond. I mean, or if you go to a specialty shop, that's like $100 or $200 for lingerie. I really think that it is I think it's okay, of course, to wear lingerie more than once. I wear the same lingerie a lot of times over and over again. I wear lingerie until I can't wear it no more, So I highly encourage people to get all of their money's worth out of the lingerie because sometimes, it tears fast and you have to buy more or um, and yeah, I really feel like you should always wear it as much as you can.
All right.
Gotcha.
Along the same lines of continuing with the conversation with lingerie, I'm gonna add some breast to it. Do you think women should stick to their cup size, or do you think it's okay to venture to get a little bit risque with it and maybe downsize? Or what are your thoughts in general on size and cup size when it comes to lingerie?
Oh my gosh, this is such a hard question for me because my boobs have done all the things.
All the things.
Going all the things, you know what I mean? Like, thinking about like, before I think I was like a size B before I got pregnant. And then after I got pregnant, I was breastfeeding. So then my boobs, you know, one time they were like, "Oh no, you're like a double D." And I was like, "No, I'm not, lady, I can't be." Um, but they were like, I feel like the range has been there and like the density of boobs, are all different. So the density of the boobs have changed. Um, so do I think that people should try to stick to their cup size? I think they should try to stick to whatever is going to make their breasts look fantastic. So if that means it's too small, but it looks voluptuous and amazing, I say go for it. If it looks like it's too tiny and you got some overflow that might maybe not look as impressive, I think then you got to upsize or whatever, right? And then you also have to think about what kind of lingerie is going to be best for your before your boobs, right? So some of us have nice full boobs, some of us have nice flat boobs, right? So we just have to think about like what kind of lingerie is best for your body. And yeah, and I think you're okay when lingerie is too small, but if it might be too big, you look like you might be swimming in it. So I think too big is not good. So it's either got to be like just right or maybe a little small. Yeah. You don't want to do too big because then I feel like you're kind of flooding in it. But yeah, get
Yeah.
something that's right for you though. So I mean, yeah, get something that feels
100%.
good on you and it feels good on your body that you love.
Yeah. I recently had someone say that they experienced weight loss and that at some point her husband was like, "This is getting out of hand," because it was like baggy lingerie on her. He's like, "We got to get you some more stuff." So, yeah, baggy probably, I agree with you. Like, probably stay away from it. Maybe unless it was Well, they call it what, a teddy or a nightie or something. Maybe you can get away with it then. Maybe.
Right. Yeah.
I always
Not with like the cup forming
yeah.
size. Yeah. Same. When I lost about 30 pounds, like so I gained about like 30 pounds like after I had my baby, then lost it all like maybe within a few months or so. And so I'd bought lingerie when I was, at my biggest. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, but this is cute. And then I went to put it on. I was like, oh, like my boobs are all, just like sunken in. I was like, oh man, cute lingerie, but now I can't wear it. So
Makes sense.
yeah.
Are you a fan of Martin, the show?
From back in the day, yeah. Unless there's some
Yeah.
sort of reboot I don't know about. But
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I was
uh-huh.
literally about to say from back in the day. Yeah, I always joke with Chantel about it about I don't know if you remember the episode where he bought her this lingerie, it's like this gold thong or something, and she was trying to put it on saying it didn't fit. And he was like, it ain't supposed to fit, Gina. So that's what I think about with the small lingerie, like it ain't supposed to fit. So that's the point. Because when he said that, she was like, oh, and kept struggling trying to put it on. So too small, I would think could work before too big. But
Right.
yeah,
Absolutely.
and I feel like if you're
Stretch
busty,
out something too small.
yeah, if you're busty, you might end up with some lingerie where you kind of spill out anyway or something. But I don't think they
I
would.
mean, if you're fully covered, that's not really lingerie anyway.
I have this full coverage lingerie set.
What are you doing with that?
Mhm.
Yes, like I need minimal coverage. Thank you. Please. Thank you. So that
Yes.
is cool. I agree with that. So what lingerie, speaking of that, what lingerie would you recommend for someone that is busty? And what lingerie would you recommend for someone who has smaller breasts? I guess what like
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So for someone who's a little bit bustier, I definitely recommend things like corset tops. Corset tops look great for busty women, mostly because, they cinch in, your boobs are up, and they're just kind of nice. And everybody loves a good busty top when it comes to like a corset frame. So any kind of lingerie that has that corset framework, I think are great for busty people. And then as far as someone on the breast on the smaller side, which I have, like I always have gone with things that have like either sat right up underneath my boobs, um, something that can maybe carry them, but like yeah, something that's and you also want something that's good for the frame of your shape. So I think, teddies are really great for smaller boobs. Any kind of lingerie that's kind of one piece, um, uh, like one piece bodysuit open, like, middle part open,
yeah.
I think are great. Um, and then for those who are kind of like in the middle, I think those people are like the lingerie that's really good for those folks, I think are the ones that have like the framing around the titty. You know what I mean? Where they could just like put their boob in and it's just like a nice frame. I think lingerie for people who have like in between that's really great for them. But yeah, big boobs, corset wear, yes. Little boobs, I think, are great for, again, teddies, things that you can see in the middle, things that, where, yeah, because your boobs aren't necessarily going to be flying all over the place, right? So things that just kind of keep them sitting nice and right. Um, yeah, yeah.
All right.
I'll
Before
take
we get
that
to
into
the
consideration.
before we get to the question, I wanted to ask. You mentioned earlier at the SDS conference, people are walking around naked. Are people walking around in lingerie as well?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Naked, lingerie, whatever your heart's desire. I think I wore lingerie one day last year, more days than one, I should say. I wear big fluffy robe and lingerie underneath, but yeah, yeah, lingerie is definitely present at SDS all the time.
Okay. And again, not to my mind wondered, not to get too far away, but when you're reserving rooms at the conferences or hotels, like, do you have to let them know ahead of time what's going to take place? I'm just interested to see how all because you're going to
You're
walk.
you're talking about at our conference in general?
Yes.
Yeah, once they enter our space, we do not allow the hotel staff to come through. So we have
Okay.
like a pipe and drape. And so when people, once they have to, dress in your regular wear, at the hotel. But like once you get past like the pipe and drape, the curtains, you can, take off your
Okay.
clothes and wear whatever you want.
Okay. I'll just imagine somebody walking into a hotel, seeing naked people or people in their lingerie. Like, what is going on? So, okay.
They would not allow us at the hotel if that
Okay. I was like,
happened.
what? Okay. All right.
Thing
All
about
No,
right.
walking
Back.
around in like a fur coat just sounded fun. Like someone just walking around in fur. I might have been thinking about American Gangster, the movie. I'm a movie person, obviously, where she had on the lingerie with the fur coat. Maybe that's what I was thinking about.
Yes.
Ooh. Like I'm just showing up in a fur coat. How about that?
Yes. I love it.
All right.
Great idea. I'm like, keeping that for next time.
There you go. Jaleesa, come with the ideas. All right, back to lingerie. All right, so there's a lot to lingerie, and there are some that are more specific to breasts, such as breast cutouts, nipple covers, and tassels. Aside from those visuals, what other things can be done when these types of things are worn?
um, what do you mean? What kinds of things can
I
be
guess
done?
maybe activities that you would suggest, or
Yeah.
even other than just looking
Yeah,
like
you
just
mean
for
like
looks. How do you incorporate that into the sexual experience?
You think about the tassels, I mean,
ah
I guess you could like shake them, but then like is there more to it? Or with the nipple cover, sometimes it's like a leather nipple cover that is just there. So it's like, well, like, is there
Is
a
it
way
supposed to be ripped off or something? That's it.
yeah, like or the ones with
with
just like
any kind
cut
of
out.
Yeah, I think with any kind of like breast decoration, I think it's helpful and useful for a show. So whether you're giving a strip tease, you're in regular clothes and you come through and you have the lingerie underneath. I think it's really great for a strip tease. So it could be part of that foreplay, part of that seduction, part of that enticement. I mean, that's essentially what lingerie is right? Is like, hey, I'm wearing this because I'm thinking about you and I think we should, do something together. And so things like tassels, that is, whether you are a past or present burlesque performer, tassels are always fun, but they're definitely for show. I would not necessarily say they are for for like foreplay or seduction unless that's part of the role playing, right? So you could be, maybe the person is the stripping violator, the handsy violator, and you're the tassel person, and they, you have maybe worked out some sort of role play scene where they're, you know, tug at your tassels or something like that. I'm thinking about like sort of kink role play. So that's the only thing that I could possibly think of as far as, trying to um, think about like sort of nipple seduction. Depends on what kind of kink you have too. Maybe you want to do duct tape. And if you do duct tape, that's going to be hardcore, right? Like a little bit of pain with your pleasure. Um, but I would say, like, typically, when it comes to, you know, nipple seduction or breast seduction, cutouts, um, using, toys like nipple clamps or anything like that might be a really great addition. There's also really great nipple jewelry out there. And I think that can be fun too, specifically when you are enticing, but not like you're trying to prolong the seduction. That makes sense. So those are, I think, the nipple decorations are really, really nice for that.
Okay. That's enlightening. I like the idea, of course, to use it for like strip play and stuff like that. I don't know why I said play, but strip tease. It was like that's not it. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. And the keys, I mean, yeah, you could pull the tassels.
If that's what you like, it's interesting. There's someone out there that likes that for sure. So thank you for
Sure,
that.
there's many people that like it.
Yeah. So in addition to that enlightenment, can you enlighten us on your knowledge or experience with dominatrix style lingerie? So yeah, how I feel like you have a good amount of knowledge when it comes to that and have seen a good amount of dominatrix attire.
Really depends on the Dom or the D type. So thinking about, some people may love lace, but typically when we've seen pro doms, it's like leather or faux leather or latex or rubber. That's what we typically see with pro doms, femdoms, but is not the end all be all, of every single dom. But typically, that is the style. So again, rubber, latex, uh, leather, faux leather, um, corsets. We're gonna see. We might see corsets. We might see boots, high boots, or stilettos, uh, yeah, that kind of wear to go along with pro doms for sure.
Ooh.
Yeah, interesting. Something for everybody.
I
All
definitely feel
right.
like I see a lot of leather when I see like dominatrix style.
Yeah, that's the image that comes to mind a lot. So there's more to it, of course. All right. Before we see what's going on in the future and where folks can find you, what are some words that we always like to end on words of positivity? What can you offer to our audience?
Okay, the words I could offer to your audience is, there's always room for seduction and foreplay, especially as it pertains to breasts. So thinking about like, uh, and we know that the breasts are a really great way to, um, there's really great, what do you call it? Cheese Minis. There's a nerve that connects from our breast down to our genitals. So my words of positivity are like, even if your genitals may be out of commission or whatever, or maybe something is affecting you in some way, your breasts are a really great way to connect to your sexuality, to your sexual experience, and overall can contribute to, orgasms, if you like. So just to know that breasts are um, uh, uh, a good way to connect with your sexuality, um, regardless of who you are.
All right. I like that.
Yep, makes
All
sense too.
facts. All facts. So, can you share where people can find you that want to follow you and your conference and everything you're doing?
Absolutely. So for Sex Down South, you can go to sexdownsouth.com or you can hit us up at SDSCon on Instagram or TikTok. And we also have on Facebook and is Sex Down South, and Twitter is Sex Down South ATL. And then we also have my company, Velvet Lips. You can find me at velvetlipssexed.com, Velvet Lips Sex Ed without the E on all social media. And of course, the number one, Marla Stewart, on all social media platforms as well.
Ooh. Yes, so be sure to follow her for all of this juicy information that is like, I like it because it's so um unconventional, I guess, in a way, even though of course like there's sex ed and all sorts of sex things, but a lot of it is still unconventional. And I like that you went right on outside of the box with all of that and started your conference and everything else. So congrats to
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
And when
Yeah.
is the upcoming conference?
The upcoming conference is September 5th through the 7th. And then we also have a Love Out Loud Film Festival on September 3rd and 4th. So you can come early, come Labor Day for the film festival, for that Tuesday and Wednesday, or after, I'm sure after Labor Day, but it is that weekend after Labor Day. So basically, if you come to Film Festival September 3rd, if you want to just come for the conference, September 5th through the 7th at the Hilton downtown Atlanta.
Alrighty.
But if you're in Houston, we're going to have a pop-up in July too. So there's also that.
Oh yeah. For 713 day.
Yes, for 713 Day. I had no idea until recently that was a thing.
Yeah, I don't know exactly when it started. It is in more recent years though, but they do have a 713 day, and there's always Houston music. We have our music down here for sure. And I think they'll do like some public events, maybe like at the parks and stuff like that, or a concert, I forgot. But they do something for sure.
Well, good. Well, hopefully we can contribute and people will come out for 713 Day to our event too.
Yeah, they can celebrate in a way that they never have before.
There you go.
We encourage it. Oh, yeah.
All right, folks. Thank you, Marla, for joining us and enlightening us with your expertise. And we thank you all for joining this conversation, and we'll look forward to more of this.
Yes, thank you.
So thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
All right. So we hope that you enjoyed our conversation with our special guest, and that you do also, celebrate National Lingerie Day this week in your own way. And we hope that we inspired you to do so. As you see, we're out here living out loud in our lingerie, so you can do it too. Okay. So we really are glad to celebrate National Lingerie Day with you guys on our platform. So thanks for tuning in for sure. We definitely want you to come back for the next episode, because we're gonna let this episode trickle a little bit into the next episode. And we might like take it to the bedroom a little more, and see what heat we can work up with that. So please be sure to tune in, and make sure that you subscribe, like, follow, comment. We love to hear what you have to say. Make sure you're following us on the socials, and make sure you're shopping with us. And don't forget to add us on Patreon for as low as $1 a month. So until then, adios.